A lot can be said about Amazon's breakout hit Hazbin Hotel, but I think the thing most people don't really tend to focus on, or at least from what I've seen in my hours and hours of binging Hazbin or Hell of a Boss content here on YouTube, is just how well Vivian Mondrano writes queer characters into her story. While the show is not without its critiques, as seen by the many video essays talking about its pacing problem and lack of focus for its women characters, I really think Hazbin Hotel as a show truly resonates with the LGBTQIA plus community for a number of reasons, and the first and foremost one is how well the character's queerness is woven into the narrative. To appreciate the strides Hazbin Hotel makes, it's really critical to understand the context of queer representation in media, and historically, queer rep has been uh, well, really, really bad. I think anyone who's in the LGBTQIA plus community can tell you just how tired we all are of the same tropes and stereotypes. For decades, LGBTQIA plus characters were regulated to the margin of our screens, often depicted through harmful stereotypes to our community. The flamboyant gay man, the butch lesbian, the tragic transgender character were common tropes that painted a narrow and often damaging picture of queer identities. Bisexual characters were often portrayed as promiscuous or unfaithful, reinforcing negative stereotypes that contribute to societal stigmas around bisexual people never being able to pick one side or the other. Additional other queer identities such as asexuality and non-binary identities, along with the whole rest of the LGBTQIA plus community, were largely ignored, leaving many people in the community without representation or visibility at all. The impact of these stereotypes and lack of representation cannot be underestimated. For many years, queer individuals saw few, if any, characters on screen who reflect their own experiences and identities. When queer characters actually did appear, they were often used as comic relief or tragic figures, only written as a cautionary tale for the audience, rarely afforded the depth and complexity given to their heterosexual counterparts. This marginalization perpetuated misconceptions and biases the public already had about queer folks, making it difficult for us to find positive and relatable role models in media. While there has been progress in recent years with films like Moonlight and Carol offering more nuanced portrayals, the rise of authentic queer representation has been relatively slow. Films like these have helped to challenge the traditional narrative and provide more accurate and respectful depictions of queer lives. However, the mainstream media has often lagged behind, and queer representation remains inconsistent and sometimes problematic. The journey towards full, authentic, and widespread queer representation has been arduous and continues to face numerous challenges. However, while mainstream films and TV shows have been lacking, animation in particular has played a pivotal role in the progress of queer representation. Shows like Steven Universe, The Legend of Korra, and She-Ra and the Princesses of Power have broken new ground by featuring queer characters and their relationships prominently. These shows have not only included queer characters, but have also woven their identities into the fabric of their narratives while making their queerness a natural, integral part of the stories themselves. This shift has been instrumental in normalizing queer identities and providing positive representation for younger audiences. Hazbin Hotel continues this trend, pushing boundaries with its bold and direct approach. From its inception, the show has been unapologetically queer, introducing characters whose identities were clear and unambiguous. This directness is a significant departure from the subtle hints and queer baiting tactics used by many other shows. Yes, I'm looking at you, BBC, Sherlock, and Teen Wolf. By representing queer characters openly and confidently, Hazbin Hotel has set a new standard for representation, one that does not shy away from or obscure the queerness of its own characters. This approach not only provides visibility but also fosters a sense of acceptance and normalization, making it a standout example in a landscape of queer media. Hazbin Hotel is unique in many ways, especially in how it portrays its characters' queerness. One of the most noticeable aspects is its overt queerness from the very beginning. Unlike many shows that had to hide their intention from networks or resort to queer baiting, Vivian Madrano made a bold decision in including queer characters from the outset. In the original Hazbin Hotel pilot, we were immediately introduced to Angel Dust, whose flamboyant design and behavior clearly signaled his queerness. As a queer viewer, you instantly recognize his identity. Similarly, Vaggie and Charlie's relationship is evident from the start, literally leaving no room for ambiguity. This is upfront representation that ensures that any network that was interested in picking up the show knows exactly what kind of characters and themes they were getting into. And as we all know, Amazon did pick up the show and allowed the team to do an excellent job of expanding on the foundation laid out by the pilot. We see a variety of relationships develop and evolve, adding depth to the characters and their interactions. Charlie and Baggie's relationship, for instance, is explored further, showing their growth and the challenges they face together. Although there were pacing issues that sometimes hindered this exploration, the show still manages to depict their bond in a meaningful way. I have to say, their duet of More Than Anything literally made me cry the first time I watched it, and it's such a beautiful moment between these two characters that has been building throughout the whole season, and you can really see how much they love and respect and care for one another. Additionally, the toxic dynamic between Angel and Valentino is portrayed with raw honesty, shedding light on the darker aspects of some relationships. Angel's growing closeness to Husk provides a contrast, more positive development, enriching the narrative, which I hope we get to see a little bit more of in season 2. One of the standout moments in the series, for me personally, is the revelation about Alistair being asexual, highlighted by Rosie's line, "Ace in the hole." This inclusion is particularly significant because asexual representation in media is almost non-existent. For asexual viewers such as myself, seeing a character like Alistair acknowledged and celebrated is incredibly validating. It demonstrates the team's commitment to representing a wider range of queer identities, going beyond the commonly portrayed stereotypes and tropes of LGBTQIA plus characters. Furthermore, Hazbin Hotel's characters are not just queer, they are complex and multifaceted. This complexity is crucial for authentic representation. The show does not shy away from depicting flawed and imperfect queer characters who make mistakes and grow. Hazbin Hotel's approach to queer representation is both groundbreaking and essential. By being unapologetically queer from the start and expanding on its representation in meaningful ways, the show sets a new standard for how queer characters can be portrayed in media. It goes beyond mere inclusion, offering deep, authentic, and diverse depictions of queer lives. This representation is not only important for queer viewers, but also for fostering broader acceptance and understanding in society. As Hazbin Hotel continues to evolve, it promises to maintain a critical part of the ongoing conversation about queer representation in media. Furthermore, Hazbin Hotel's characters are not just queer, they're complex and multifaceted. This complexity is crucial for authentic representation. The show does not shy away from depicting flawed and imperfect queer characters who make mistakes and grow from them. This is evident in the evolution between Charlie and Vaggie, as well as the power dynamics between Angel and Valentino. By showing these characters in all their complexity, Hazbin Hotel breaks away from the tendency to depict queer characters as one-dimensional or idealized. One of the most compelling aspects of Hazbin Hotel is the way it handles Vaggie's secret of being an angel and its impact on her relationship with Charlie. This plotline is significant because it portrays a queer relationship that is far from perfect, filled with challenges and complexities. Such representation is vital because it reflects the reality of many queer relationships where secrets and personal struggles can create tension, but it can also create growth. Vivian carries this theme into her other show, Hell of a Boss, demonstrating a consistent effort to depict dynamics and multifaceted queer relationships, like the one between Blitz and Stolas. By showing these imperfect relationships, Madrano underscores the authenticity and depth of her characters, making them more relatable and, ironically, more human. In the broader media landscape, there is often a tendency to present an idealized version of the queer community, likely due to the ongoing fight for equal rights and recognition worldwide. Many writers might even feel pressured to depict queer characters in a way that is palatable to the mainstream audience, avoiding any flaws or conflict that might cast a negative light on the community. However, Hazbin Hotel challenges this notion by showing that queer characters can be just as complex and imperfect as any other characters. This approach is not only more realistic, but also more powerful as it allows viewers to see themselves in these characters' imperfections and all. For example, Charlie and Baggy's relationship is portrayed with all its ups and downs. They fight, they reconcile, and they grow stronger together, reflecting the real dynamics of any relationship. Similarly, the toxic power dynamics between Angel and Valentino offer a raw look at the darker side of some queer relationships, addressing issues such as abuse and manipulation that aren't necessarily shown as much in queer media because of that idealized version of the queer community a lot of writers want to portray. These storylines are not sanitized for mainstream acceptance. Instead, they are presented with honesty and depth, providing a more authentic representation of queer experiences and shows that we in the queer community are human too. This kind of portrayal can spark important conversations and foster a deeper understanding of the complexities within the LGBTQIA community. The importance of showing flawed characters who can grow and change cannot be overstated. Such representation helps to humanize queer characters, allowing audiences to see them as fully realized individuals rather than stereotypes or tokens. This humanization is critical, especially in a world where queer people still face significant demonization and discrimination. By representing queer characters who are more relatable and multifaceted, shows like Hazbin Hotel can help shift societal perceptions and promote greater acceptance and empathy. Moving forward, the unapologetically queer nature of Hazbin Hotel serves as a blueprint for future media. It demonstrates that it is possible to create compelling, authentic queer characters without compromising on their complexity or realism. Writers who are willing to break away from stereotypes and portray queer characters with the same depth as any other character are essential for the continued progress of queer representation in media. Hazbin Hotel is just the beginning, and it's exciting to imagine where queer media will go from here. Its portrayal of imperfect queer characters navigating complex relationships is a significant step forward, and by embracing the flaws and growth of its characters, the show provides more authentic and relatable depictions of queer lives, queer love, queer experiences. This approach not only enriches the narrative and is one of the reasons why people love it so much, but it also has the potential to foster greater understanding and acceptance. As we look to the future, I really think shows like Hazbin Hotel will undoubtedly play a critical role in shaping the landscape of queer media and pave the way for more inclusive and diverse storytelling. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I am so sorry my voice sounds like this. I have allergies and they are killing me, so I apologize. Be sure to let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I love reading every single thing y'all have to say. Also, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications if you want to see more videos like this. I'm mostly going to be talking about queer cartoons on this channel, but an occasional live action video might come your way. Something like Heartstopper or me ranting about BBC Sherlock's asexual queer baiting. I could literally do an hour video on that because holy shit. Thank you all so much again, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!